Next up, we got the man, the myth, the legend, Boss Hog. You just turned second fastest in that practice behind your nephew there, Josh. Second fastest, your grandson, grandson in the late model, showing that you still haven't slowed down a bit despite the age, huh, boss?
Oh, the calf's getting better. I think the calf's pretty good. It was a lot pushing there in the other race, and it went good in the 200. But
yeah.
I'm only back here for redemption. I didn't finish that race, so I want to finish this one so I can smoke them back tires off.
That was going to be my next question. You had that $1,000 bonus with the track owner to try to finish the Coastal, and, well, she was overheating, we could see from the grandstands. What happened there?
It cost me about $5,000 to try to finish that race because it cooked the engine.
That motor's toast?
It's toast, yeah. We got a fresh one in it now.
All right. So that was a bummer. You made every attempt that you could to try to finish, and like he said, he was going for a $1,000 bonus, but it ended up costing him over $5,000.
Well, the car was good, and was behind the lap car, which wasn't his fault. I went in too hard, I guess, and I bumped him, and that didn't even put me out of the race. There's a culvert out there, and I went through that culvert and it ripped the bottom of the radiator out, and then I should have give up, and I didn't. So it won't run without water.
That red flag, that long red flag didn't help you any either, right? You were just sitting there on the front stretch with it spewing.
If I could have got in the pit then, I might have got it fixed.
Yep.
But they kept that red flag out, wouldn't let us go in.
All right, boss, you got a driver's meeting to go to, so good luck tonight.
Always another year.
Next up, I got Ray Dinsmore in the 81 late model. Ray, I want to go back to a couple weeks ago at the Coastal when you had a stout car in the heat race and you said that the Panhard bar loosened up on you, and I said it. I feel a little embarrassed on the microphone. I said catwalking. Obviously, I meant crab walking. That thing was coming out sideways. You were still turning pretty fast lap times, hanging on to it, and almost had a heat race win.
Yeah, when me and the 21 Clark were side by side, we slapped tires, and it shifted. The Panhard bar actually shifted the rear end to the left 6 inches. Wow. When we went across the scales, we were like 10% lower in cross than we normally were. Like I said, I just held on to it, defend the bottom, and if they're faster, make them work for it.
Yeah, it was a bummer because before that happened, like I said, you were out front, and then I could definitely notice the difference of the tires sticking out more than it should, and a couple of them picked you off. I think you got third in that heat race.
Yeah, we finished third and put us seventh for the Coastal. That's the highest I've ever started for the Coastal.
That's very good, man. Nothing to be down about. I guess, so, that kind of stunk for your Coastal heat race debut, and then you're having troubles tonight. You said you blew a brake caliper. What's going on?
Yeah, in the first practice, we went out, we changed gears, went to go change a chip, came in, I went back out, my pedal was soft, so I told the guys, hey, I'm just going to make sure we don't hit the chip, come in, and the left rear caliper disintegrated.
You got it figured out?
Yeah, we got it back together, so we'll see. We only had one round of practice. We didn't put the race tires on. We changed a lot during the week, so I guess we'll see what happens.
So pretty much going out there to use the heat race as practice for today, right?
Yeah, see what happens.
All right, good luck, man.
Sweet, thank you.
All right, another late model that we're going to go back to Coastal 200 weekend. Brent Roy, you have had a solid piece in the last couple weeks and had a stout Coastal running. You were running up there towards the front of the pack and, got kind of in a mishap that was not at all you're doing, put into the wall. Has it been a rough couple weeks trying to get this car back together?
Yeah, we got very lucky that we didn't hit the wall, and Nick Hinckley kind of was our safety barrier, which I feel bad for him because he come out with pretty much a total car out of it. We just, from the radiator forward, got destroyed, and 2 weeks of long nights and a lot of expenses that was kind of unnecessary.
Well, Brent, like I said, I noticed that you've been progressing these last couple weeks. We haven't seen you run that close to the front as we have the last couple weeks, and I'm sure you got some people to thank for that, or where has the speed been coming from?
Yeah, we've just been throwing a whole bunch of different things at it every week to try to see if we can pick up a little bit of speed here and there, and I can't do it without my crew and my sponsors. These guys make it possible for me to come down here and turn laps every week.
How are you feeling today? Did the Coastal 200 incident mess up the setup in the front end? You having a okay time getting it back going to the speed that it was?
Yeah, it looked like it was pretty close to what it was, but we made some more adjustments to try to get that a little bit tighter coming off the corner, and so we can put the power down to the track and try to get a top 5 tonight.
Well, I hope to see it. Thanks for talking with us, Brent. Good luck
Thank
tonight.
you guys very much.
All right, last but not least, we got the 47 late model, Chris Burgess. A couple weeks ago, Coastal 200. You got second in that. That was amazing. I mean, you must be still floating on cloud 9 almost.
Yeah, it almost still doesn't feel real, really. Yeah, it definitely surprised us, and the money's probably gonna help us make it the rest of the season, you know. Yeah, we're pumped about that. We're hoping to continue a little bit with that success.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to talk about tonight. You just placed third on the last practice speed charts behind the St. Clair boys, Josh and Boss Hogg. So third on those in speed tonight, definitely showing that the Coastal speed wasn't just a fluke. I mean, this car is going pretty good.
Yeah, I think we're almost as good as anyone when the tire game is right. The Coastal, no one had tire softener, so that helped us a lot. And then today, in that second practice, I was breaking in some new tires, so I had 4 new ones, which helps even you out with the softener too. So we'll
Awesome.
see.
So you feeling pretty good tonight?
Yep, we're just looking for a clean night, but hopefully it all works out. See where we are at the end of 40, just like we had to do at the end of the 200.
Certainly. Well, I guess, did you enjoy the long distance game, or is 40 laps your preferred? I mean, you don't have too much experience running 200 lappers or long distance like that. What'd you think of it?
I have no experience running real long races. I did a 150 once. I love the long races because, to me, you can be more patient and you don't have to worry about, passing a guy that's slower than you right now. I followed a couple of cars that were slower than me for 8, 10, 12 laps,
Yep.
and I knew I still had 180, to get by them. So it seems like everybody or most people think that way,
Yep.
and it makes it a cleaner, better race. And then by the end, everybody kind of knows where they are, so you don't push the issue too much either.
Yep. All right, awesome. Chris Burgess tonight, another stout field of late models. Let's hope we can keep it clean. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Daniel Harding has the edge. 12 years old in the 38 car. And trouble for the 73. Cowboy Dan Trask slows off the pace and drops to the rear of the field in the 73 car. Back up front, it is Daniel Harding by a couple of car lengths. Yellow flag's gonna wave for Cowboy Dan Trask in the 73 car, coming to a halt on corner 3 entry. Trouble all season long with our same front row. Daniel Harding and Alex Waltz are gonna go green next time around. Row 2 has Ray Dinsmore and Chris Burgess. Row 3 is Jonathan Emerson and Frankie Moulton. Brent Roy and Patrick Murphy are up next, and bringing up the rear is Ryan Essency. Daniel Harding looking stout again on that restart. Ray Dinsmore follows up the inside in the 81 car. Waltz back to third. Here comes Jonathan Emerson in the 24, up the inside underneath Waltz. He'll put the 24 car up to third. Brent Roy to follow in the 26. Here comes Frankie Moulton, and we've got contact for third. Jonathan Emerson and Brent Roy rubbing going into turn 3. Brent Roy takes the spot. Frankie Moulton follows, and Jonathan Emerson now getting hung out to dry. Here comes your Coastal 200 runner-up finisher, Chris Burgess in the 47. And now Frankie Moulton to the inside of Brent Roy. He muscles his way underneath. He's looking for third in the 15 car. This one is all the 12-year-old youngster of Daniel Harding in the 38. Ray Dinsmore looking comfortably in second. But here comes the 15. Frankie Moulton has cracked the top three, and he'll set his sights on second now with 2 laps to go, this time at the line for Daniel Harding. Good racing for second now. Frank Moulton tries the high side. Chris Burgess is right there to take the bottom, the white flag in hand. And it looks to be all Daniel Harding for heat number 1, but the battle's for second. Contact between Dinsmore and Moulton. Dinsmore is going to hang on to second. What a race.
He is small, but he is mighty. That's how we introduced him back in the Coastal 200. He finished 9th in that race. In the number 38 from Fairfield, nice round of applause for Daniel Harding. Last year, at 11 years old and 4 months old, he became the youngest feature winner in this track's 53-year history.
Boss Hogg was second fastest in practice, and he puts the 14 car out front with grandson Josh St. Clair following suit around the outside. It's the St. Clair boys now 1 and 2 checking out from the field. Scott Hall and Will Collins go side by side for third. Will Collins from the outside puts the 25 car up to third now, and he looks to be hunting down the St. Clair boys in a hurry. Will Collins looking stout. He has reeled them in quickly, and now almost right up tight on the bumper of Josh St. Clair. Connor Wenners puts the 4 up to fourth, and Jet Decker follows around the outside for the 01 car to crack the top 5 at the halfway point. Three cars under a blanket out front to a half a straightaway on the rest of the field, led by Connor Wenners. 4 to go for Boss Hogg. Now for 6, they're side by side with your pole sitter, Scott Hall in the 10 and Matt Burgoyne making his debut. And Nick Reno in the 77, he's coming right off of a Pro Stock win last weekend. Now in the late models with his late model ride to the outside, he's looking for 7th. Two laps to go, and Josh St. Clair says it's time to go. His last-ditch effort to the outside of Grandad with white flag in hand. They're dead even. Will Boss Hogg play nice for this heat race win? 2 corners to go, and it's the St. Clairs neck and neck to the checkered.
About the first 3 or 4 rows is the only part that was solid. The rest was shaken up considerably. You've got Daniel Harding at the point. Chris Burgess, the underdog story of the season here at Wiscasset, coming home with a nice runner-up finish in the Coastal 200. Brent Roy back together after a lot of hard work on that number 26. Time to shuffle the deck and let's go. Green flag is out. The youngest kid in the pack is leading the horde down into turn 3 and 4. A lot of jockeying for position back there. Everyone comes out clean. Of course, that's a nice ride young Daniel Harding has. That's a car that was driven to a championship by none other than Andrew McLaughlin. Harding, Roy, and Burgess, 1, 2, 3. Jonathan Emerson holding fourth and a lot of traffic behind him. Close call for Dave St. Clair, the 14. Clipped the curb out of turn 4 and jumped out into the side of David Getchell. 3 wide back in the pack. Matthew Burgoyne is on the charge, the 38 up to 4th. Burgoyne in his first race of the season. Chris Burgess drives out around Brent Roy and moves the 47 car into the second position. Roy now has to protect over Burgoyne on the outside. Dave St. Clair coming into the picture in the number 14. He runs in 5th, but watch out for the 77 of Nick Reno charging up the outside. Reno coming off a Pro Stock win last week. Chris Burgess inside lane on Daniel Harding. Harding hanging tough on the high side. Side by side. Harding settles it down right in the tire tracks of Burgess. They'll settle things back down. Burgess, Harding, and Burgoyne, 1, 2, 3. Then Brent Roy and Boss Hogg. Couple more cars up from the back of the field. We told you about Nick Reno. And here comes Josh St. Clair along the high side. Josh wants to get a run up on the outside of Gramps and see what he's got. Dave St. Clair looks to the inside, gets into Brent Roy. Oh, they've got a stack up, cars checking up into turn 3. Pace car in, green flag is out. Everybody even up first time around. Burgess and Harding. Everyone's starting to line up on that inside lane, but Harding pedaling hard on the outside. Burgoyne will come up to his inside fender. St. Clair behind him. The young man holding strong on the outside. Holding on to the third spot, but Josh St. Clair ready to grab that away from him. The opening is there, and he will settle it down into 4th, just ahead of David Getchell. Josh St. Clair able to get by Matt Burgoyne to take over 2nd. Josh started this race back in the 13th position and has raced his way up into 2nd. Burgoyne up from 12th, or check that, 11th to 3rd. Will Collins making a little ground in that 25, suffering that penalty to start the race toward the tail end. Josh St. Clair now peaking on the low side, now swings it up high. Testing Chris Burgess. Burgess trying to protect, make that 47 car nice and wide. As he had that improbable second place finish in the Coastal 200 2 weeks ago. David Getchell has made his way by Daniel Harding. Harding back to 5th. Josh St. Clair with a great crossover move down into turn 1. St. Clair set him up and takes over the lead into turn 3. Burgess comes back with a hit. Halfway, 20 down, 20 to go. Will Collins now into the top 5. The 25 car making up a lot of ground. Josh St. Clair, the reigning late model champion, with a great move to set up Burgess. Front 5 out single file, actually back through the top 10 or single file. Now Dave St. Clair able to race by Daniel Harding. Jet Decker will follow in the number 01. Decker, your most recent winner on weekly point racing. They'll make it 25 down, 15 to go this time by the stripe. Josh St. Clair with a 1.8 second advantage now over the 47 of Chris Burgess.
Will Collins is certainly closing in on third place. Matt Burgoyne, his first time that we've seen him this season, looking to enter the season with a top 3, but Will Collins is tightening the gap, and he's just about right up tight, bumper to bumper coming out of turn 2. Will Collins looking to crack the top 3. And then it's Dave Getchell rounding out your top 5 in the 88. Collins to the high side of Burgoyne. And he's making it work out there up in the second groove. Will Collins will put the 25 up into third. We've got 10 laps to go for Josh St. Clair.
Yeah, Will Collins on the fly in that 25. He may be the fastest guy on the track right now. Chris Burgess is your second place car in the 47. Transponder stopped working about halfway through the race, so they are manually scoring the 47 car now. Josh has got a full straightaway lead. Field strung out all the way around this 3/8 mile oval. We are inside the final 10 laps, 33 down, 7 to go. Josh starting to close in on some lap traffic now. The 49 car of Ryan Easonsey. and Matt Murphy in the 86. Tell you what, that second place position is still up for grabs. Will Collins has closed it now within a car length now on Chris Burgess. Collins has to settle down and find the right spot to pick to get around that 47. In the meantime, Josh St. Clair picking his way through that lap traffic, getting around the 10 of Scotty Hall. Now Will Collins looks high side on the 47. He's got a full straightaway advantage and 2 laps to go when they come to the stripe. 2 to go now for Josh St. Clair. Here's that battle for second. Burgess and Collins. Will Collins drives out around Chris Burgess and into second. White Laundry this time by. Final time down out of 3 and 4. Checkered flag awaits. And Josh St. Clair will get the win. Will Collins takes second. Chris Burgess will take the third spot.